94 Rocks, The Dark. It is that time again. It's time to get to know a band we play here on The Dark. And I'm excited because actually we had a chance to talk with Blake. He's with the band Broken Rail. And we had a chance to talk to him about 5 years ago. So it's been a while since we've chatted. But I'm excited to talk to him because some big things are happening with this band. This band actually, we just found out, just hit the top 20 on the Foundation's secondary market rock charts. And also, it sounds like you also hit the Billboard indicator chart, too, in the top 32. How you doing, by the way?
Oh, what's up, man? It's been so long.
Things are going good, huh?
Yeah, it's getting there, man. The world had to end to bring us together again.
I was going to say, this is some cool stuff. First of all, your song California, and we'll get to that in the long run here, but how excited are you to have a song that's charting on rock radio?
Man, it's a great experience. We're 13 years in, so it's a long time coming. We've just kept our nose to the ground, and we've certainly earned it.
Well, I tell you what, in that time frame, we went from a show that was about 6 hours a night to 9 hours a night to now a 24/7 active rock station. So it's bands like you that helped us get to where we are today too. So thank you for doing that.
Absolutely, man. That's so cool for you guys. Everybody tries to act like rock's dead, and you're going the complete opposite direction.
We love it, and we love playing new rock first, and I'm glad to see a band like you is finally getting the recognition. And for our listeners, let's get you caught up a little bit, I guess, of the band Broken Rail. Give us the nuts and bolts of how this band all came about. You guys are still down in Birmingham, Alabama, correct?
Actually, that's a new thing that we're actually announcing kind of. I guess now the press releases are going out. We've actually relocated to Dallas, Texas.
So, things are bigger in Dallas, right?
Yeah. I actually just moved here. I'm living with rhythm guitarists now, and we're living right downtown. And that's been a great experience so far. But, Texas is phenomenal. But we've had two members here for years, and we've always made it work with the two-state divide. Everybody's professional, so they fly in, and it only takes about 3 days for us to be tour ready. But it was limiting us on so many things, and just being able to just go out and be together as a group. And we finally made the decision during the pandemic to just go on and come together under one major city, under this large hub. We already had a huge following here, and so it feels like the best move we've made yet. And you can see all this happening now that we're together.
That is awesome to hear that you're all back together. Now let's talk about, you mentioned the pandemic. I mean, boy, who would have ever thought that something like this would basically change the entire world? That's what it did, first of all, but then also the music industry, too. I guess, how did you guys handle the pandemic?
Man, going in, it was rough because, we signed a record deal back October of 19. And so January of 2020, we went and recorded this new album, Beautiful Chaos, with our longtime producer out in L.A. And we were so excited. Joseph was coming off his 6th number one on radio, and he was so proud of the material we were putting out, and we were too. And so we come out of the studio in, I guess it's like February, and we're so excited for everything that's about to happen. And then, like we said, the world just ended. And the labels were hit so hard, and so much was pulled from the budgets and that of what we would have been doing with this album. And a lot of bands would have kind of laid down, we saw everyone being very stagnant. And instead, we were like, we're not going to allow this. And, we followed all safety protocols, but, we kind of risked it with our families personally, and we kept getting together. And we ended up putting out 5 videos. Now, this is our 5th video that just launched Friday. We put out a major album. We put out 4 singles, and now California's all over the radio. So, we said, we're going to make the best of a bad situation, and we're not going to let it hold us back.
Did you have an opportunity, I guess, and I've asked a lot of different artists during the pandemic, to reflect back on some stuff and then also give you new material for the future?
Oh, yeah, we went, The Hate, that's a very, I guess, a heavier song of ours. It's more metalcore. We released that right before the album in, I want to say August, or it might have been September. But we wrote that in July. So that was actually written during the pandemic while we were all together shooting a couple of other music videos. And it was about that feeling of everything boiling up inside of the lockdowns, and everyone just having to be, the mental anxiety of just sitting at home and not being able to come out of your home, and all the financial hardships and everything everyone was facing. And that's why we wrote The Hate. And so that was I don't know if you've heard that song yet, but you'll see what I'm saying. It kind of was definitely reflected the times, and we're proud of that. And, we needed something to keep us going ahead of the album launch, so we kept delaying the album due to the pandemic.
And that's, the thing that I'm kind of curious about now, and obviously having that time and doing some stuff to reflect, is how that's going to translate once things start opening up. And now we're starting to see in the last couple of weeks now, things are starting to loosen up, at least with restrictions. And that means now there are going to be some shows. And all of a sudden, we've got a plethora of shows now, don't we, Blake?
Oh, yeah. They're everywhere. From all the people on our team, it's just going to keep coming. Everybody's hearing of this and this. There's definitely a fight for a battle between all genres right now because everyone was stopped. So I'm afraid that it's going to get to be a very crowded market out there. But that's good. The people, they want their live shows back, and man, are they getting them?
Yeah, they are. They are. Let's talk about rock a little bit because obviously rock has kind of been a fragile genre as of late. But I'm thinking that with this pandemic, there's a lot of people that had time to start searching and looking for new stuff. And I think rock might have a revival here and maybe actually become one of the bigger genres because, people I think are kind of sick and tired of what's been happening with this pandemic. And rock has a little angst to it. It's a little angry kind of thing. Wouldn't you believe?
Absolutely. It's always rebellious in nature, and that's when it thrives is when there's any kind of a pushback, and I feel like the lockdowns really threw people into that. Some people didn't agree, whether or not he did, that's one issue, but I feel like you said, rock gives you that edge that we're all looking for. That's why it works so great in a gym, and so, yeah, it reflects people's feelings. And, I've said it since the beginning, and maybe I'm biased, but the rock music never fell off like people act like it did. The talent's been there all along. It's just the money changed and the promotion changed to different genres, and it could easily, you put the money behind rock again and you put it out front and center and it will hands down take over the world again.
Hey, you mentioned the gym. When the things opened, I didn't go to the gym. I went back to the bar, but I don't know about you.
I was fortunate to have a private gym during the pandemic, so I never stopped.
Well, I tell you what, it shows that I went to the bar, Blake, rather than gone to the gym, okay? Because I got a little bubble down below here, not on my arms instead, okay?
Well, now that we're all back together out here in Dallas, we've been probably going way too much. Texas opened up, I guess, in front of everybody.
The funny thing, I just heard last night that makeup sales are up 80%. So here's the deal. Everybody stopped wearing makeup, okay? I mean, and obviously Kiss probably was one of the huge ones that, we can't do any shows, can't wear any makeup, right? But now you're sitting here like the 80% increase in just the last week because of makeup sales because now people have to go out and see each other again.
Wow, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, a lot of people just sat around and really just watched TV, I guess, and didn't do much.
Hey, what did you think about the Zoom, I guess, era here of the music industry? And, I guess the concerts from the house rather than obviously being in a concert venue.
I can't feel a concert the same way about watching it over YouTube. And I'm not one of those people that sits around and watches live concerts on YouTube. I can't get into them the way I can at a real one. There's nothing like the feeling of the kick in your chest, and the atmosphere, and it can't be replicated. But I thought it was a cool, try. I guess like the bands did well that did them. We unfortunately just couldn't make it work with living in two states. We were doing so much at the time as it was, and we just couldn't put together, the live stream shows. But it is a lot of work, so hats off to everyone involved that pulled those off because there's a lot of risk in doing that.
Yeah.
And I saw so many good ones,
Well, you don't even have to be a band anymore now with a pandemic. You can just play every instrument, do everything, and you're good to go. And it's like it's a one-man band.
Absolutely. We saw that with social media. The reach is actually a lot of the professional videos are getting pushed down, and they're purposely not trying to let them go as far as, I guess like what would you consider like a garage type video. And I think that goes with the success of TikTok as well. It's meant to be, not as professional.
Yeah, I'm too old for TikTok. My 3 daughters do TikTok because they're all teenage girls, but I'm like, what's TikTok? I mean, I'm like, okay. I'm still on Facebook here. I'm trying to figure that out yet. Okay, so don't even get me started. They try to say Snapchat, all these Instagram. I'm like, what? Old people do Facebook, right? That works for me.
And they all change daily, So every time we master one, it changes on us. Facebook just flipped again for the pages. We're trying to get into the whole TikTok era. It's hard at our age. We're just a little past that. But I didn't realize how much fun TikTok was. We have some crude humor, and I didn't know it was as adult friendly as it was.
Oh, really?
And when you get on there and you start hearting videos that are hilarious, it's more towards adults, and that's all you'll get. You'll never see any of the things you're thinking. Okay. It's actually hilarious.
Oh, I just know that the phone is propped up in my kitchen, and I got girls doing like things and that. I'm like, what are you doing? It's like are you like hanging out with your friends on the phone or something? And like, no, we're doing TikTok. I'm like, okay, whatever. I have no idea. I've lost that generation, I guess.
But no one has physical friends anymore.
Well, that is true. That is true. And back when I was a young kid, I had a lot of imaginary friends, so that's why I'm in radio now. It works out well. Hey, we're talking to Blake, by the way, from the band Broken Rail. Their latest song is California. It's doing awesome on rock radio. It just entered the top 20 this week on Foundations, just entered the top 30 on Billboard. What's, I guess, the plan of this song and I guess the touring side of things? Obviously, when you have a record and you have songs, you want to get out there. So what are the plans for Broken Rail?
Man, we're itching for it right now. Like I said, we're just now announcing the move from Bama to Texas, and we're still in the process of relocating the equipment. We just found a place here that'll become our new headquarters, and so we're actually working on it now. Hopefully, by the end of the week, we're going to have our equipment here. So that's a whole new journey for us across states. And then, yeah, our camp is very busy on putting something together. We're itching so bad to get out there. And I know a lot of people are excited to see us again. We can't wait to play the new music. We've been sitting on some of this for a couple of years now, and so we're very upset we're not already playing it.
Right. It's going to be, and we talked about this off air, but we can talk about it on air. It's going to be a challenge here, I think, for people to figure out what shows they want to go to, because you can't go to every show, and you don't have all the money in the world either. Now, you might have saved up some money from the pandemic to get out and go that. And I know that we have some listeners that are, they go to a lot of shows all the time. But, now looking at some of these pricing of the shows, it's almost maybe putting people out of the market to even go to a live show.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm worried about is I feel like a lot of the businesses that were hurt by this are going to try to make up all their money too quickly. Maybe not. We've seen some really good prices, especially the ones, Texas was the first to open up, and we've already seen a few tours that came through here, and we were guests there, and it was very well priced. We just saw Corey Taylor the other night, and that was awesome. But we've seen quite a few bands already, and it was actually pretty cheap. But some of these new ones posting, we saw their prices are pretty high. The festivals look like they're at their normal rates, and I think they're honoring anybody that already had their 2020 passes. So
yeah, you better use them because in 2022 you might be paying double.
Absolutely. And the greatest thing, though, is like you were talking about, the resurgence. I feel like all these people had a whole year, and they saw what happens when they don't have music, and don't take it for granted.
Right.
Get out there and see these bands while you can. We're not promised that you'll ever, have another chance.
Absolutely.
I already missed some of my favorite bands,
And those are?
Oh, man. I guess it'd be more original lineups than it is missing them. I would have loved to have seen early Deftones. Now they're back with a vengeance right now.
Yep.
But that was probably my biggest influence in rock
Okay.
Growing up in the late 90s. But Korn, now Limp Bizkit's back. I cannot wait. I've never seen Limp Bizkit, and I'm so excited they're on all the festivals this year.
Yeah. I'm excited to see Aaron Lewis back with Stained again. That should be awesome.
No, yeah. And I don't know, did you listen to their last album? It came out a while back, but man, it was heavy. They brought it back to their roots.
Oh, they were very heavy, yeah. Yeah, Not Again.
I'm hoping that, I'm hoping that they're going to play some of that stuff. I feel like if they go back to that side, that they'll be very popular again.
Yeah, I think they will. And I think, obviously he's got the country side of thing that he's doing, which is cool, but I'm hoping maybe he's got the itch here of after having a pandemic and not being able to do anything to go out and start rocking again, too. That'd be good.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'd love to see some of the bigger bands go back to their original singers. I don't know whoever gets that though, but like if we could get a 3 Days Grace with Adam.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, there is some stuff out there. I can't say it yet, but there is going to be some singers that used to be with bands that are coming back. That's all I can say because I'm not allowed to say any more than that. But I do have some inside information on some stuff. But we'll have to wait until, I think, the end of summer before we can let that know. And then you'll go, oh, that was the band. So.
Okay. Yeah. I might know who you're talking about.
Yeah, it's Broken Rail. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, we got to get going here soon, but let's talk about a little bit more about you guys, and I guess, for the plans and getting out there, hopefully that'll happen soon, but if people want more information about the band Broken Rail, to find out, hit you up on the social medias, maybe TikTok, even though I won't be there, how can they do that?
Yeah, absolutely. We're everywhere just under Broken Rail, so if you go to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, we're all under Broken Rail. BrokenRailBand.com is our official website, and then our label Cleopatra Records. You can find all of our CDs and vinyls through them on their sites.
Awesome, and we need to hook up sometime and get a show. That would be great.
Absolutely, can't wait to come up there again.
Yeah, we'll do that. Hey, thanks so much for joining me, Blake. We're going to spin your latest song, California, and once again, congratulations on those great honors to get it on the rock charts.
Thanks so much.
That's once again the lead singer of the band Broken Rail. That is Blake Clawson. Their latest song is California. You're hearing it now on 94 Rocks, The Dark.